beautiful afternoon from my end. Yeah, it's still afternoon. Okay, it's educator once more. I am here to briefly talk about plants as living things. We already know that if you're a living thing, it's either you're a plant or an animal. So if you're neither a plant nor an animal, then you're a non-living thing. So if we're agreeing that we're living things, then we should fall under any of the categories mentioned, plants or animals. All right, but in the next 5 minutes, I want to briefly give us an overview of plants, so that when we hear of plants, or when you see a plant, you should know exactly what you are looking at. But I'm going to start from the scratch, so that those of us who are in basic the basic system, like in primary school, can flow to an extent. As before we progress and start looking at the other things that we have to note about the plant groups and how they are divided, looking at their taxonomy. Okay, so before this time, we just see plants generally to be autotrophic, but I want us to understand that not all plants are autotrophic. There are some plants that are heterotrophs. But when we say plants are autotrophic, what does that mean? Because most plants are. So when we say plants are autotrophic, what does that mean? It means that they have the ability to on their own make their food, because that the prefix auto simply means by oneself or by itself. So plants being autotrophic simply means that on their own they can make their food, and that process that enables them make their food is can either be photosynthesis or chemosynthesis. All right, so we have to take, having known that, we should know that plants are autotrophic, while we have a few others that are heterotrophs or heterotrophic. But whenever we hear of plants, of course, things comes into our mind. Oh, they are sessile. When we say sessile, it means they are sedentary. They just stay in a place. They do not have the ability to move from one place to another, even if they show some element or some aspect of movement that we generally describe as tropism, which could be phototropism, hydrotropism, and geotropism. So plants move, all right, because if they can't move, of course, the first life process movement will not apply to them, and will be forced to keep them in the category of non-living things. So plants move, they move in the direction of sunlight, they move towards the earth, they move in response to water and all that. So we have to take note of that. They even move against gravity. That is the shoot growing upwards. That's actually against gravity. So plants move. Let us get that right. So when we hear of plants, we should note that plants are largely autotrophs or autotrophic, though there are some few exceptions that are heterotrophs or heterotrophic in nature. And these ones we know as the pitcher plants, the Venus flytrap plants, and other examples. But the fact that they are heterotrophic simply means that they are carnivorous. They do not actually make their own food to an extent, because as they depend on other sources for their nutrients. That is the means of adaptation, trying to develop some morphological and physiological features to help them get used to the environment, as adaptation is necessary for survival. Okay, so we are saying that plants are autotrophic or heterotrophic organisms. They are autotrophic or heterotrophic organisms, with most of them having a well defined root and shoot system. Most plants start their life as seeds. If you're looking at the sexual propagation, and others start from suckers and other means of vegetative propagation. We also need to note that plants are divided into parts. There are different parts, they have different parts. The roots, the stem, the leaves, the flowers, the fruit, the seeds, six basic parts for most plants. And plants that have flowers and fruits, of course, are known as flowering plants or angiosperms. Why? There are some others that neither fruits, neither flower nor fruit, and those ones are gymnosperms. What they do is to bear their naked seeds on cones. So plants generally have six basic parts. I'm saying I'm using the word basic because these are not the only parts, but these are the basic parts. The root system, the stem, the leaves, the flowers, the fruits, and the seeds, the various parts of the plant. So whenever we hear of the word plant, we should know that, oh, if it's a plant, then it must have leaves in different forms. Most times you should be seeing a stem, fruit, flowers, and then the root system that is in the rhizosphere. It's very important for us to take note of this. Why some plants are angiosperms, flowering plants, others are gymnosperms, non-flowering plants with different characteristic features, even if there are some similarities as well. A brief introduction. More on this will come when we go to the board and details will be given or a rundown for those of us who are in senior secondary and trying to understand the basic difference in the anatomy and the physiology of these different plant parts, their unique functions, and why they are important to the entire plant and then the environment. So let's stay tuned for that. It's going to come to us soon, and we can easily pass exams that we are preparing for as it relates to biological science. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to subscribe.